everyone, welcome to Chef Shelley's Kitchen. So today we're going to be making chicken corn chowder soup. One of my classmates from high school had asked me a little while ago. She said, Shelley, can you make some soups? And since we're also getting into the winter months, we're still fall here in the Carolinas obviously, and now moving into the winter months, I thought a good soup might do well. Plus, this is a shout out to my friend Lydia. This soup is for you. It literally is for you. So I'm hoping you're going to be feeling so much better as a result of it. So it's very simple, pretty basic. I've got my heat going here because I wanted to be able to jump right in. We are going to take this on a couple of takes. So the first thing you do, and got my heat now on medium, and you're going to need a bowl or pan about this size. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in butter. And you all know that I am partial to butter versus margarine because it's something that is natural and your body's able to digest it. So I'm going to melt this butter here, and what we're going to add to it, we're actually going to be sauteing the next few ingredients. So now that the butter has melted, what I'm going to be adding to it is garlic, and again I'll put the amount, but essentially 2 cloves of garlic, 2 stalks of celery chopped. So you want to be able to chop your celery however you need to chop it, but you're chopping it kind of fine, okay? You can smell, of course, with the garlic, it always smells so good. And then the last thing we're going to add is 1 medium onion, and again, chopped. So I'm going to put all of that in there together, like so. We're going to saute this first. Get this warmed and cooked. And then after that, we're going to add the other ingredients. Again, this is so incredibly easy to make. One thing, I decided to choose this for my friend, just to kind of help with the healing. Celery is actually known to be a great vegetable to eat. It's got anti-inflammatory kinds of properties to it. I was reading this article not long ago, and they said you should eat like at least a stalk of celery every day, I'm sorry. So we're going to add some good stuff in here, okay? So this is sauteing. I'm going to turn my heat up just a little bit more because I want this to... it's just a few minutes. You're going to see that just from the taping. And I'm just constantly stirring it up because I don't want it to burn. I'm just really trying to make it tender so that when we cook the rest of the items, it'll be able to cook fairly quickly. Okay, still just tossing it around, and I'll just give you guys a little look at how that is. It smells so good. That's one of the advantages to cooking. I like how, if you ever find that your house isn't smelling as good as you'd like, first of all, clean it, number 1. But number 2, I like having things cooking in my house because when you open the door, you know, it smells like home. And so you absolutely want to do that. That's actually one of my absolute requirements when I'm selling a house property, be it rental property or a dwelling place that I live in, is that I always try to make sure that I've cooked something before people come, because I want it to smell just delicious. They walk in and it's like, oh my God, this is how our house is going to smell and feel and all those good things. A good realtor will tell you those tricks, but I've never had problems really kind of selling property with those little tricks. Okay, so that's about it. We're just trying to saute that, make it a little soft, and you can kind of time it, just that wasn't that long. Now I'm going to turn the heat back to medium because I turned it up a little bit. I'm going to now add chicken broth, and this is going to be the low sodium chicken broth. I do enjoy using Swanson, so that's my brand. We're going to use the entire pack, and this one here, I'm going to just kind of show you the ounces. You can get these at most anywhere actually. And this is 32 ounces, okay? So we've got that. Now added to that, what I've done is I've chopped up, you can either do 2 medium-sized potatoes, or what I did was I had a fairly large Idaho baking potato. I used half of it and I cut it up. So here are the potatoes. They're cubed, as you can see. And we're just going to add those. You can do more or less depending upon how much you like potatoes. That's a nice little add there. And this here is actually 1 cup of, it was frozen corn. If you have fresh corn, that's better. Better to go with the frozen corn than to go with the corn in the can because it has the extra sodium that's been added to it. And then this is a combination of salt, pepper, and thyme. So we're gonna sprinkle these seasonings in like so. Now one thing I'm going to tell you, and I say this all the time, is that you have to season things to your liking. And my suggestion is if you want a little more pepper, go by what I have on the site. And then if you want to add a little more, because I tend to be a little more conservative with my seasonings, then you can. So what we're going to do here is we're going to now just let this boil for a little bit. And what I want to happen is I want the potatoes to just be slightly soft, okay? So we're going to stop so that this can boil a little bit. Again, soften the potatoes, because what we're going to end up doing is when we come back, once I know that this is softened, and you'll have to kind of time it for yourself, I have some pre-cooked shredded. This is like roasted chicken, and it's like chicken breasts, and so this is 2 cups. It's already cooked though, so we don't have to we're not cooking it again here. So we're going to let this cook, let the potatoes soften. We're going to come back, we're going to then add our chicken, and then we're going to take a portion of this mixture, we're going to put it in the blender to liquefy it, and then we're going to add it back to the soup, okay? So let's let it do its thing. Okay, we're back. So it is more than done. And that took about 10 minutes or so, thereabout. Again, it's all based on what your settings are. But now the potatoes they can break apart, okay? That's what you're after. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to put in 2 cups of chicken. So this is, as I said, roasted chicken. I just pulled it apart, and we're going to actually reuse this bowl because I'm going to put the soup in there for our testing. And what I'm going to do is just fold this together, and I'm going to try to hold this up so you can see the texture of it. We're going to then scoop out 4 cups of it. We're going to put that in the blender, as I mentioned, and we're going to kind of puree it, okay? So we're going to do that. So make sure if you can see kind of the texture of that. It smells, again, totally delicious. You don't really have to, you need to mix the chicken in. You don't have to cook the chicken again, because we're going to put this back in here after we puree it. So I'm just going to use just a cup, and I've got my measuring cup here. Now, I'm going to tell you, you can vary this based upon how much meatiness you want in yours. I found that using 4 cups is just like an ideal amount, okay? Make sure you have enough liquid in here as well, because you're going to be liquefying most of it anyway. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take and turn my heat off for now because I don't want this little bit here to now overcook. Okay, so we're going to take this, we're going to put it in our blender like so. And because we're just trying to puree it and I don't want to cause any problems with it over blending it, making it too soupy, we're just going to use, I've used a cloth napkin to put over the top of it like so. Instead of putting my normal lid, it just takes some of the pressure out. So I'm going to go on and blend this. It would help if I turned it on. So I'm just chopping it now. The beautiful thing about my blender is that it's a combination blender. I do smoothies, all kinds of good stuff in here. So I'm going to stop it now. I'm going to check out the texture. Make sure, oh yeah, it's nice and soupy like. So I'm going to bring some of this to the camera so that you can kind of see the texture of it. So you can see it's just about like so, okay? All right, so what we're going to do, I think I'm going to just leave it in just a little while longer because I see more of the corn. I'm going to put this on just a little while longer, and you're just after that texture is what it is. Plus I'm looking below and I can kind of see my potatoes. Okay, that is good enough. So we're going to now transfer this. I'm going to put my pot back on because I didn't want that to overcook. And we're going to now scoop this back in here, okay? Like so. Some of you may be like, that's too much work. It's so delicious. And serving it with some cornbread just makes my day, especially when you come home and you're tired, you don't feel like cooking, and you already have this prepared. This is one of those dishes that goes really well in the freezer. So while I have this big pot of it, it's something that certainly you can freeze. Okay, so I am going to try to show you the texture. You'll notice that, you know, the soup is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And one of the things, I don't know if you noticed it, with my potato, I actually kept the skin on it because I feel like you've got so many nutrients in there. And again, you still have chunkiness because you've got, okay, so I'm going to show you that. It looks absolutely amazing. And now we're going to actually scoop some in this bowl. Actually, let's get a clear bowl so that you're able to really kind of see this. I'm just going to scoop some since I already used this. And we're going to do our taste testing right now. But I want you to be able to see the texture of it. So delicious. Smells good. And you're going to want to make sure it's to your liking. So if you find that it doesn't have enough salt for you, it doesn't have enough pepper, or not enough thyme, just add some, okay? So it's simple as that. So let's give it a taste. Just the way I like it. Enjoy. You saw how simple that was. Simple, healthy, delicious. I need to get back to this. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.